So this is part 2 of this. I don't know how this will be put together, but we have our ring with a little bit of a rim on it, and hopefully it's not too big for what I've got, right? I got to make sure that this amount here works with the lip right here, and I think it will. And we're just going to assume it does because why? I don't know. So let's look at this thing is, yeah, I think we're good. Okay. So now that I want to put a dome on here, so we're going to insert the dome. And I am going to load an object. And somewhere I have a dome. Ball jar with a lid. Oh, mason lid with thread. Ball jar with lid. Where's the dome? Oh, Fibosphere. That was it. And the one I picked up was the 384. All right. So this thing's kind of cool. And we're going to import it. And if we look at it, there's some things we really don't like about it. It's super thick. So we're going to get rid of all of that because I don't want any of that crap on there. And the other thing is that it is flipped the wrong way. So it needs to be rotated. And so we're going to pitch it 90. Nope, wrong one. We're going to do yaw 90. Nope. We're going to do roll 90. 90. Ah, there we go. And then we're going to do it 270. So that's this dome in the direction I want. Now the question was, how big is the dome got to be? So let's look at this, right? And we'll take this off. How wide is this thing? And if we check at the size, we can see this is 75.3. So I actually need the dome to be 75.3 so that it lines up with the outer edges. So we click on this. Nope, we don't. And we say 75.3, 75.3, and we do 75.3, and we do 75.3, and that was completely wrong. Wow, what was I thinking? That is not what I wanted. Let's go back and try and figure out what I did wrong. Oh, it's only 14 high because it's a half, dummy. So it's, what did I say it was? 75.3, right? So it's going to be 75.3, 75.3, and then half of 75.3, which would be 35, what is that? 35, 36, 37.6, 37. You know what, let's just make it 37. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's zoom out. And what we need to do is we need to move this thing up. All right. And we're going to repair this thing because I don't know why it's... Yeah, there we go. And so now if we look at it, oh, we're off center. So let's move this thing to 0. And if we look at it, it looks pretty good, actually. I don't see any gaps. Okay. So that part's pretty cool, right? Like if we look, we can see it under here. If we click off of everything and we click this, we can see that we're at 30. We're at 16 here. So I don't really know how this ends up at 37. I guess because it's the half thing. So what I'll probably do here, actually, let me bring this down. I might bring it down 1, 36. Nope, that's not, I didn't want to resize it. I want to lower it. So let's make it 36. It gives us a little bump on this thing. So the only thing I don't like now is this piece in here, right? Because what I want you to be able to see the light through this, and I need more room in here for the button. And so let's just take this piece off, move it over here. And if we look, right, we can look at this thing. We can see here, like, how thick is this? Let's make it the same thickness. So it turns out I can do object measure. And so I can actually take this from there to here. Oh, no, to here. And it looks like it's about 18, right? 16.8. So I can cancel that. And so really I need, 16 or 32 left in this thing, and it is And it is 75, and I need 16, so that means I need to take out 75 minus 16, so I need to take out about 60 out of this, right? Or 55. It could be the size of this rim. So what I'm going to do this, right? So we can see this here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a sphere right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to move it over here. And why? Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this sphere and we are going to move this sphere up into this, right? So if I flip it upside down, we can see that this thing needs to go like right there in the center, right? And we'll do this, we're going to take a negative out of it, right? So we can see how big it is. So how big is this sphere that I did? It is 40 by 40 by 40. And let's make it 60 by 60 by 60, right? Now we can see that we could actually take this thing, and if we made it a negative, it would actually remove this part of the interior of this thing. And we don't care about everything else about this because when we do the negative, this green sphere is going to go away, right? So, so if I look at it here again, we go here, and I take this off. How big was this thing again? It was 75.3, and I need 65 or something, I think we said, right? So if I turn that off, we can make these guys 65, 65, 65. Drop it down a little bit, see if that looks good. It looks pretty good. And is it centered? This guy's center is at 80.14. This one, so they're both at the same X. Their Y's are off a little bit. So, you know, it could be that what I really need to do is make this guy be, so let's do it again. This one is at 0, and this one's at negative, so let's just make it at 0. All right? So now what we've done is I think that I have moved, let's look at it. It looks off a little bit, but is it? No, maybe not. Right? And I think it's the angle we're looking at. So if we look at it from the top, it looks pretty good. And so I think what we do here is we just make this thing be hollow, and we'll drop it on the, so let's make it hollow, subtract. So now we have a dome, which is cool. And now we just need to move it back where it was. And so we'll just make this 0. And I think that put it right back where it was, right? And so, if you look here, okay, so that looks pretty good. If we turn this off and we turn that on, we can see that the rim got a little smaller. I think this looks pretty good, okay? And so we're pretty close to done here. And so we have this dome with threads, and it's got a little lip on it, and you can see clear through it. And now there's only one thing left, and I'm going to take a break and relax. Just kidding. You know what? Why can't I move the... Oh, there we go. All right. And then I'm going to take a break. So we'll pause this.